So how do you create music that sells? Well, the first thing that you need to do is to research the marketplaces. Go to different libraries and see what's selling. You will usually see in the search section of the music library that they will have different taglines or keywords like inspiration or background. Background is a very big one actually on many libraries. But you can go and see this music, and regardless of what library you're searching for music, just see what's out there. See what are those sounds that are in the front page. Now, obviously, if you go to a library like Audio Jungle, you're gonna hear a certain type of music. If you go to a library like Pond5, you're gonna see this slightly different. So there's no one that is right or wrong. It's just a matter of getting a feel for what music is selling out there. Usually the ones that are in the front page are the ones that are the most popular and is what people are actually purchasing. Get an idea of what sells. For me, the way I found this helpful to me, like seeing what other composers were doing in the early days, was how can I find my place in this marketplace with my skills as a guitarist, and how can I make inspirational music? I was very committed to learn how to make corporate music. How can I make inspirational music? How can I make background music? What the hell does background music means anyways, right? Is it ambient music? Is it inspirational music? What is it exactly? Cinematic music? It could be anything. It could be all of those things. So it doesn't really matter what genre you want to make. What matters is how can you have a feel, have the finger on the pulse of what's happening in different stock libraries. If you're starting out, it's going to be a little bit hard for you to do this, but the best way to do it is to just put the music out there. So for example, for me as a guitarist, I started to compose kind of like happy music, and whatever that means. To me, happy music was just a guitar, a bass, and a drums, just playing some type of feel-good pop. Not rock, but pop music kind of thing. You know, I was trying to recreate some type of a U2 type of sound, or Coldplay, I guess. Very badly I did that, but it was giving me a direction as someone who was coming back to the beginning of how to make music, because I knew how to mix, I knew how to master, I just didn't know how to make commercial music. So I felt like I was a beginner in music production, and I said like, okay, how can I make happy music? So I have to go and back to the beginning stages of making music again, because I was making always angry music. There's nothing wrong with making angry music, but I want to sell music on stock libraries. I don't want to just to stay there. And there is a place for angry music for sure on stock libraries, and there is a place for sad music as well, and tension music. But the music that sells the most is happy, uplifting music, and feel-good music, inspirational music, right? So I wanted to do that, so I had to relearn the whole craft of music arrangement and composition so I can fit to the marketplace, if that makes any sense, or at least my compositions can fit into the marketplace. So if you are someone that is making, I don't know, trailer music for that matter, I really will invite you to experiment with the opposite of that. Nothing wrong with trailer music, there's a place for trailer music, but if you want to experiment with what's out there and you want to make something that is completely out of your comfort zone and really see if you are able to do that, because you must be able to do that. Even though I focus on a particular genre, I must be able to do any type of genre for that matter, within reason, okay? I'm not able to do trailer music, but I can kind of get away with it here and there. It's just not my thing, right? But if I am a musician and a composer that does happy feel-good music, corporate music for that matter, or acoustic music, I must be able to do hip-hop, right? Which is, hip-hop to me is a challenge. But I've been experimenting with hip-hop quite a lot because I know hip-hop is a very popular genre. Lo-fi music, right? Lo-fi hip-hop music, something that I did quite recently. I've done a whole course about it. So I learned how to do a genre, I do it well, I have some success, and then I teach about that. The reason why I teach is because if I want to become better of what I am doing, I need to teach it, right? And by teaching something, you become better, right? So this is something that I've been doing a lot. I try to experiment with different genres, I master that genre, then I create something, I teach about it, and I become even more of an expert in that genre. But the only reason that I will become successful in anything that I will put my mind to is by having this beginner's mind. I know this might sound a little bit too zen right now, but if I don't know how to make hip hop, but I like hip hop and I've heard hip hop, I want to make hip hop, but I want to make hip hop for my libraries, for my profile on Stock Libraries, my way, right? With my own identity. And I want to have fun doing it, and I need to learn. So I learn, I know how to do it. I put the pieces together, I submit the track, gets accepted, get some sales, and I get pumped. It's a quick win. And then I say like, okay, so now I know how to do hip hop. How can I create more hip hop? And then I move from one genre to another. This increases not only the sales, but as well makes me feel more confident as a composer. And I think that you have to do that. Now, obviously, you might be in a different space right now. You might be in a different place in your journey as a composer. You might be in the beginning, you know? And so you really need to focus on what you're good at. So if you're good at rock music, just do rock music for now, right? Until you start to mature a little bit more. Now I'm in a place where I feel more free to experiment. I feel more free to just, you know, just be a little bit more loose, have fun. And I want to experiment with different genres. And I'm not afraid to fail. I think in the beginning, we were very concerned with failure. We're concerned with rejection. I've done a reggaeton music track. If for those of you from Latin America or from America, reggaeton music is something that is quite cheesy. Hey, I live in Greece. I grew up in Venezuela though, all right? And my family is from Venezuela. So I know about Latin music, but because I've lived so many years away from that side of the world and from my roots, if you will, I didn't experience the whole reggaeton type of vibe or that reggaeton explosion. So for me to see that genre from far away and to see how that will fit into music licensing, and it is a thing, then I must be able to do that. And I did a few reggaeton tracks quite recently, actually, got accepted and everything. I believe one of them got accepted in Motion Array as well. I think they'd rejected one, but it didn't matter to me. I mean, I just managed to do that track in a genre that is completely foreigner to me. Why will I make a reggaeton track for my tracks, for my library, for my profile, right? For my portfolio. You see what I mean? So you must be able to be like a chameleon, wear different hats and do different genres. But depends on where you are. I'm in a different stage as a composer and I like to experiment. I like to have fun, right? I can go from one genre to another and still compose a successful stock music track and submit that to a library. And hey, some of them are gonna get rejected. I'm fine with that. But another ones are gonna pass, you know, and I'm happy with the result. I need to be happy with the result. So the best way to create music that sells is by first you becoming a master of a certain genre, and then have fun with that genre, really find your identity. And I'm going to be talking about this on a future video. How can you find your niche in a stock music licensing library? But really master your genre, understand yourself, be self-aware of what you are and what you do, and then you can go and wear different hats, because that's the beauty of being a stock music composer. The ability to wear different hats. And today I'm a hip-hop producer, right? I'm making beats. It's not my lingo, but hey, I'm making beats. And tomorrow I might do a jazz track, and the day after tomorrow I might do a reggaeton track, and all of a sudden I'm this Latin kind of guy making reggaeton. The next day I might go and do a cinematic track or an ambient track. So the options are endless really when you think about it, but you need to be self-aware of who you are and where you are at the moment. I hope this video finds you well, my friend. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel and I'll see you in another video.